tenker hvis det jeg tenker første gamet tenkte jeg å kjøre Vikings, så blir jo rett gærlig. Og så game 2 kjører vi Vietnamese. Så tenker jeg egentlig å kjøre samme strategi som jeg gjorde de 2 første med Fireship.
just waiting around here. Missing Dogao, I think. But there's a bit of a rating discrepancy between players here, so I think Tiger and Adalwolf are up for a tough one. Tiger has a low 1v1 rating, but he's also, as you can tell, he's playing a lot more TGs. So he's definitely a team player. He can perform very, very well as a team. So will be very, very tough for Norway, I believe, but it'll be nice to see how they handle this. I'll just pull up Tiger's stream while we're waiting for players to get ready. Looks like they're on the way to launch very soon. A bit of stream sniping here, but it's good to know what they're going with. Tiger opens Vikings. Looks like right. Just we know all players are in, and just wait for them to launch. Still waiting for launch here, but I think they will be starting soon. Yeah, they seem to have some issues here. Can't put ready. So some hosting or starting issues here. Thanks DE. Adalwolf trying to trigger his opponents here. Interesting. Wait, still waiting for launch here. I'm just keeping Tiger's. This is Tiger here. Just keeping a stream up to keep track of what's going on in the launch. So Once they launch, we'll go to a spectator's point of view. Yeah, so it's been 20 minutes and I haven't launched yet, but let's hope they can get going soon. We had some issues with the reading up and stuff, and Slipfair said he was going on to get a coffee. He was like, be right back. Oh. Alright, so one of the Brazilian guys here, he has had some issues with his foot today. I wonder if he wants to play at all. Maybe they will have lots of pauses on the way because he's obviously not feeling very well here. we're getting close to launch here, I hope, but still waiting for the Brazilian team to ready up here, and then we'll get going into spectating. This is Tiger Stream. He's the host of the game for this one, and he's also streaming at Special Unit 93. Okay, so they've launched. Let's go, get into spectating here. Alright, so let's go here. We have Norway's team on this side. There's Migration 2v2 game. We have Tiger here playing as Vikings, and Adalwolf as the Italians. And they are up against Brazil with Dogao. Here you're playing as the Lithuanians actually. I don't know what kind of shenanigans he has plans. But they do get Cannon Galleon among other things, so probably not too bad on water. And then there's Vikings here for Slipfe, also known as Feage, I don't know how they put it. So we have a Vikings mirror and Lithuanians versus Italians. Hold on, let me adjust the sound levels a little bit. Let me actually get so I think I have sound now. I hope so. Here we have caught up to live game time. Dogao already adding his first fishing ship. He probably is using the Lithuanians' advantage here because they start with 150 extra food, which means he can go to wood earlier. So he already has 2 fishing ships out, whereas Adalwolf does not have any dock yet. Tiger does not have any dock yet, and Slipfe here is adding his first dock right now. So this should give Dogao a nice equal lead to begin with already, because he's the first one to get fishing ship out. Look at the village count already, 14 to 12 here. So 2 wood choppers, 8 on food, and now he's adding the lumber camp. So it's a very nice build over here from Dogao and getting fishing ships up. So he's prioritized the dock first over the lumber camp, and he's of course chopped the stragglers to collect wood to get enough wood for lumber camp here. So back or side dock for Adalwolf. There's also gathering the shore fish here. Bit of a long walk from the dock there, but of course the dock is on the edge here, which is more important when the fishing ships go out. Still not the most efficient shore fishing here. And then there's Tigers with Vikings on this side. Already has also has dock Akkal now, and this is starting with the fishing. And we can see the villager counts catching up here because players are starting producing, but huge eco lead for Dogao at the moment. And we're gonna follow this production a bit for a while. It's also quite heavy in food. It looks to be, he might want to go for a, I was gonna say really early feudal, but I don't know, maybe waiting for a few more villagers, get some food kick in, and then I think he's pushing his last deer here now. It's also not. He's also shore fishing near his dock, but notice that the villager is shore fishing right next to the dock here, so it's much more efficient than when they have to walk a bit further, like on the wolf side here. But we do have a Vikings mirror on the right hand side here, and the placement of dogs are a bit kind of in the back for Tiger. He might be going for some kind of fast castle play here, I'm not sure yet. And but Stepfia here, Feage is adding his second dog already, and he's a more forward, so that suggests he wants to hit Tiger. So Tiger is not going for fast castle because it's up to feudal now, which is also the case for anyone except for the Viking player actually. So Feage here might be going for a fast castle approach. He's on 26 pop now. Still hasn't clicked up, which is should be very good news for Tiger actually, but his dogs are in the back, so he might not be engaging on water that early either. And this is migration, so of course you need to migrate to the middle island for more resources in the end as well. But Dogao, first one to click up, is actually not the first one, but he's stopped adding fishing ships from what we can see. Only one dock for now, and this suggests to me that there's only only the Viking players are adding on the two docks for the moment. But Adalwolf for the Italians is gonna be the first one up here, and if he challenges the fish early enough, that could cause trouble for Dogao on this side here. Right, so players are hitting feudal. Green player here is definitely going for the fast castle style here. I think because he's not even gotten to gold yet, but he's going to feudal age with a population of above 30. So his eco with Vikings in that sense is going to be pretty good. But here's Tiger is adding galleys, and I think that has to be a demolition raft, right? And he's prepared to fight on water early. If he has done some, actually hasn't scouted his enemy yet, but if he did, he would see that his enemy is now adding his third dog, but he also knows, of course, that the other Viking player is not in feudal age yet, he's on the way there. Being so real and so late to feudal age, this would certainly be the time to attack. But you see fire ships on the left hand side here, Lithuanians versus Italians. Kind of just passing there. Adal has not found his enemy yet. Did Dogao find his? Yeah. So he's going straight for the Adal side here. A little bit of fighting here. Some fire ships, but then Adal's guys are going straight for. Looks like he wants to. Okay, he sees a scout, he wants to snipe that. He will lose this fight against the fire girls, unfortunately. I think he might be looking for Dogao's fish here. Yeah, very unfortunate scouting by Adalwolf here, not finding the docks of Dogao on the side here. And also he won't be able to get through here, so he needs to go all the way around again to find Dogao's docks. And this must be frustrating for sure for Adalwolf, missing the scouting by so little here, while also losing efficient ships to Dogao's forward on this side. But he does have some galleys stored here. He could use the ranged advantage to try and snipe these two galleys, but Dogao now with 4 galleys on Adalwolf's side is getting really good value from his 4 galleys here, taking Adalwolf effectively off all fish here. Let's recount, Tiger is in the military lead here, he's chasing away Feage's green player's galleys here. Looks to be able to take a good fight here. They're both producing from both Tiger and Adalwolf are producing from multiple docks here, all 3 docks here. And Adalwolf wants to deny a market here, so maybe to disturb Dogao's kick up, but he doesn't quite succeed in that sense, and his fishing ships are now history. So Brazilian team here seems to be taking, I won't say they have full water control yet, but they have taken Adalwolf-Tiger, which will inevitably delay the uptime for Adalwolf, but he's reacting nicely here, adding some farms, and of course needs some compensation for the fish nowadays. So green players scouting the middle island a bit now. Same as could be said about Adalwolf. But looking at the military numbers, the collected military count, and that puts Norwegian team in the lead actually. But also looking at the KD, that's Dogao taking out all the fish of Adalwolf, putting his eco real badly back here, I think. Dogao is up, yeah. What about his teammate here? He's been forced to invest in water, but he will be clicking up very soon. That could mean longboats or just straight out war galleys here, and might be bad news for Tiger, who has invested more on water earlier. He did go for an early fuel and still has some to go before he can click up, unfortunately. So, bit of water fight on the left hand side here between Adalwolf and Dogao here. Adalwolf has the numbers, but he must be suspecting as well that his opponent could be on the way up to Castle Edge, so he needs to be careful about what fights he takes, and he goes for the smaller section here instead. He could risk getting surrounded by soon-to-be fire ships here, but he chases the smaller group here, pulls back home, and will also be close to potential reinforcements here. On the other side, there's a huge galley fight going on there. Tiger is outnumbering his enemy by 1 here. They both have the same kinds of upgrades, but nice micro from both sides here. Green player taking the best fight here, and we'll see both Brazil and both Brazilian player be up to the cast stage, whereas Adalwolf is kind of in a struggle here now. He needs to choose his fights wisely, and now he really needs to take some fights here. Maybe try and take out at least these 4 fire galleys so that he has a chance against what is soon going to be fire ships here. So Dogao is researching. He has 11, 15 fire galleys, soon to be fire ships on the water now, against Adalwolf's 12. Now 13 fuel age galleys here. He has some more in stock, but he doesn't release them. I think fear that Adalwolf will lose his whole army here now, which is very bad. It's nice demo hit here though. So good work from Adalwolf there, but look at him losing galleys now and being totally surrounded now as fire ship kicks in for Dogao. And now it's beginning to rush now. Brazil is on the water control on the left hand side here. I think they need to... I think Adalwolf needs to consider getting to the middle now and placing a dock and getting to the side here. Wastes a demo here, unfortunately. So he has some demo ship stock. That's actually nice demo hits here, taking out as with his presence here, taking out 5 of Dogao's galleys now. But look at the KD here now, it's 26-6 for Dogao, and that's only on this side. Tiger is also under siege here. On the other side, loses his market. Of course, it's already clicked up, so would be even worse to lose it before that. He's stacking up on galleys here now, but then look, he will be able to keep his field-based galleys out before. But he actually, there we go, there's the upgrade kicking in. So Tiger needs to be really patient here, he needs to wait for War Galley to kick in, it's on the way. And Adolf on his side has of course lost water control, he's lost all of his docks now. He needs to drop a new one at some point here, but it's going to be tough for Adalwolf at least to get to the middle with any transport and any searching. But he is doing some little bit of harassment on the side here, sniping some fishing ships possibly, but Dogao is also microing the fishing ship away. Now Tiger on this side out with 25 war galleys against 20 of the green player here. They have the same upgrades, but green player also has some reinforcements as well. And Adolf also approaching the cast stage now. Let's see what he can do about that. Maybe he could He's quite surrounded here, but he could take up and do some. Yeah, he's placing a dock now. A couple of docks. I think he's gonna struggle a bit with getting back on water, but he's adding quite a few docks now. His eco isn't half bad. He will of course run out at some point, but he has the means to produce quite a few ships here. And now we have a huge water fight on this side. Tiger being surrounded, unfortunately, by the green player here. And you can't really know for sure where to pick your targets here. But get some nice hits in here. Um, will lose most of his army, unfortunately. And no landings in the middle yet. This is just going to stay on as a water fight for a while. Green player splitting up his army and reinforcements a bit here, so he's actually cutting off Tiger on this side as well. And now looking at the military count is 33 for the Brazilian player Green. Adalwolf with 5 dogs now, desperately trying to get back on water, but he's even getting housed now on the way there. And the GG is called, which brings it to 1-0 for the Brazilian team here. So powerful performance from Brazil here. Dogao using Lithuanians on water, maybe not such a bad pick on a map like this where you have limited resources on your starting island, because starting the extra food means you could actually prioritize getting a dock up right from the very beginning and get the fish boom going. It's um, almost as good as Malians and Persians starting with, it seems, in this sense. So what Norway maybe could have done was hit the Viking player on this side early, because he was really late up to fuel compared to his enemy. But yeah, GG is called, and we will go to game 2. So look at the stats and up times as well here. Pretty huge score lead for Brazil in the end. Dogao really took his side with the superior army numbers early on. He certainly had strong early eco to back it up, and KD as well tells that the water domination was in the end on the Brazilian side. Have to give credit to the Italian player Adolf for being well, playing the Italian sim. No, he's Norwegian, not Italian, but having a really snap time, but was very unfortunate not finding the Gauss dock right away here. He just passed like he was one tile away from actually seeing it here. And we see the army now here. Look at it, green here, no army at all. So this might have been a key moment for Tiger to go get an advantage on his side. Of course, you can't necessarily know that from your own perspective. So waiting for game 2 here now for the moment. Looks like game 2 is live. Here we go. Right, let me just update the sieves here for a moment. So here we go. Game 2 between Norway and Brazil on migration. We have Tiger in the blue this time around playing as Japanese. Adalwolf in red here is playing as Saracen. Both strong water civs with their own specific bonuses. For example, the very tanky fishing ships of Japanese. And here we have the Brazilian team, which I almost suspect have gone random seeds here because there's Huns for Stickfair here, and there's Berbers for Dogao in the yellow here. I don't think I've ever seen Berbers on water, but maybe they're alright. And certainly when you take the land presence in the end, if need be, then these are certainly strong ships with strong options on land. So, but Huns pick I don't quite understand, because of course you save wood in the long run, not having to build houses, but you start with less wood, so that really should delay your first dock a bit, but we'll see how it progresses here. I'm just gonna fast forward a bit to catch up here. Many players luring in there. Nice timing, but also deer not behaving too nicely here. But he is placing his first dock here. Tiger has his fish eco running. Could be said about all players here, I guess. This time around, last time it was Dogao, which was on Adalwolf's side, but this time it's Tiger who's facing Dogao on the left side here. So let's see how a Tiger will handle a Berbers player on water here. So green player with 8 on wood, I think that's more than the other players actually, because Tiger with 4, Adalwolf with 5, Dogao also with 5. Of course you need to compensate for the Huns missing the 100 wood in the start. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. Dogao now lagging a bit behind here in villager count, but that doesn't necessarily mean a lot. With these small differences here, but also a bit of idle time for both Tiger and Stickfair. It's probably force dropping food here. Players going up already. It's Adolf's gonna be the first again. He's as Saracens. He has better, faster firing fire ships if I don't remember wrongly. So he might be looking to exploit that against his Hans opponent, who doesn't need to build houses, so it's easier for a Hans player to just spam out units and not think about being housed. That could play to his advantage. So also players not going as greedy on fish as last game here. Seems to be 4 fishing ships for all players here. Actually 5 for the Hans player, but also has adding his second dock now. Same for Adalwolf. Dogao on 1 dock for the moment. But same for Tiger, also on 1 dock. So the left flank is not going to invest as heavily early on in the water, it seems. See Adalwolf going up, it's getting the W axe right away and adding some galleys to begin with. Dogao now on two docks here, adding some galleys. Tiger also on 2, and also going for fire ships or fire galleys. Should be seeing Hans player adding some military now, yeah. Skewing up a couple of villagers, also adding fire ships, which is probably what he's expecting his opponent to do as well, but for now Adalwolf is only adding galleys, he's stacking them inside his docks here, where Dogao maybe wishes he were Hans right now, because he's getting housed for the second time in a short while. With some micro here, he could be able to take a really good fight here, but if Tiger's fire galleys get close enough, this is bad news for Dogao's galleys. So Tiger will now realize, I guess, that his side is not that heavily invested in water at the moment. And green player on the other hand is going forward for Adalwolf's side here. Adalwolf has 6 military, and means he has 5 ships in storage here. And Dogao now releases 3 more galleys, and this is bad news for Tiger's fire galleys forward. Tiger goes back, but he will definitely lose these fire galleys here, unfortunately. Let's see how Adalwolf will handle his side here. His opponent is only with 2 fire ships at the moment. He's of course adding more army. He's at 4 docks now, the Hans player, but okay, Adalwolf is patient. He's adding even more army here. He's waiting, and green player is now scouting a bit on this side here, but Tiger with 5 galleys, Dogao with 5 galleys. Bit of a micro war here. I'm not sure why they signaled his TC on that side now. Tiger does outnumber his opponent here now. Same upgrades, of course. This is a good fight for Tiger. He chooses to pursue here. Loses one galley, unfortunately, where Dogao salvages his weak one, but this is on Tiger's side. He won't lose fish that easily as Japanese, and some nice splits here and there, and avoids some shots, and overall taking good fights here. On the other side, Adalwolf has released his whole army here, and is gaining up nicely from offensive green here for now. Green is escaping, but if Adalwolf pursues, he should be okay. But then again, green has some more army waiting at home, so if Adalwolf follows too long, this might be just a debate here to get Adalwolf in the fire over here. So it looks like Dogao is winning the micro war over here. Tiger is still taking a decent fight, but he's losing ships to some nice micromanagement from Dogao here. Really showing his galley micro skills. And seeing as both players are producing from all of the docks, this is looking worse for Tiger. So it's 8 vs 7 at the moment. But when Dogao dances around like this, it's really hard to find and target the weak ones, and there's even adding more. Okay, so it's 7 to 6 now, but the KD tells of course that Dogao has lost less and killed more. This could be something aiming for repairs, maybe that's Tiger's intention here. So, Gally dancing back and forth here. The green players now advancing to the cast stage, even with the military count of 11, so he has almost a military lead here and is still going to be the first one to cast late by far. Let's have a look at the ecos here. Tiger is very far off from clicking to the cast stage, unfortunately. Same could be said about Adalwolf. They're missing kind of both food and gold for that purpose here, because they're of course very much invested in water. Green player pulls his army back because he's about to hit cast stage, as can be said about Dogao. So it's going to be tough to follow up her. Such nerds indeed. Really some micro showing off here, but Tiger keeps adding more ships and he's keeping up with the army numbers here. They have equal numbers of army, which means that Tiger hasn't been neglecting his duties here. And now green forces an engagement on this side. Adalwolf might suspect that his opponent is all the way up, so once he sees cast stage, I think he will pull away these galleys. But this is a nice time to take a fight. If you can pick off some of these, you could even once these become war galleys, you could still argue that huge heap of galleys is better because they are more easily micro-maneuvered away. But now we're looking at 16 versus 16 here, and war galley will keep in green here. Still some nice performance from Tiger on this side, keeping the numbers nicely the same here. The ghost ships are weakened here, so even when cast late kicks in, it's still gonna be some decent fights for Tiger. He could try to target the weak ones and not allow Dogao to, or force Dogao into sending more reinforcements constantly. So cast late and war galley is in for green player here now, and he's chasing down Adalwolf's galleys here. Adalwolf is collecting more ships. He wants to assemble his whole army over here. 17 to 16, but of course these are war galleys, and now Adolf loses fish here. And Dogao also about to get war galley on this side, but until then Tiger can take some decent fights, but he shouldn't run too far because reinforcements will be even closer as he progresses. But he keeps adding more ships and is fighting like a champ over on this side, trying to take out as many of Dogao's galleys as possible before they can become war galleys here. Now Dogao raiding the woodlands of Tiger here. He's managed to pick up 2 villagers rather quickly there. Tiger needs to flee. He's still in the feudal age and he's closing in on clicking to cast stage, but he's going to lose so much on the way up there, so we might be looking at the GG here soon now. He's adding docks on the other side now, so he can replenish his army, but I think we need some cooperation between the armies here for this to work, but there's so much down in military in total here that Tiger might lose the rest of his 8 galleys as well before this is over. Dogao sniping a few more villagers, and this dock is not going to be allowed to go up by Dogao. And we can note as well that Dogao is only producing up 2 docks now because he knows he has the domination on this side. Adolf has a cast late in, but he has only, well not only, but he has 19 military total. These will be war galleys soon. It could be that Dogao is actually able to clean up most of this himself, but now they're walking right into a sandwich here between both the Brazilian players, and this is going to be really bad for the Norwegian naval army here. I think Green might actually just stay here and harass Adolf's eco as well, because Dogao has been taking some nice fights here, but war galley is in for Adolf as well, meaning that he should be able to fight off Dogao here on this side now, but Tiger Still not in castle age, will struggle to keep his galley numbers alive here. So looking at the military counts and the populations here is strong performance by Brazil here. They have a huge lead overall, but I have to say the Norwegian team is taking some good fights, and especially Tiger on the left hand side and had some really nice micro wars in field there. Gas stage kicks in, but there's only 9 military for Tiger to be upgraded. He's trying to add more docks. He could try even further back, but it's looking harsh to get back on water here now. And even if Tiger had some presence on water, it would be, he would not be able to afford upgrade cost for Gallier. And now Adalwolf is walking into a fight there, but Dogao chooses to take it because he has the superior numbers here. He's doing, I think this is mostly patrol. Maybe Adalwolf is doing a micro here, but Dogao will clean up Adalwolf's numbers. Tiger 4 military, Adalwolf 12 military, and the GED is called, and the game ends with 2-0 to Brazil. So in a way, we could say it was expected, a Brazilian team with a much higher 1-1 elo, but overall, decent water play from Norway. We didn't actually get to see any middle action at all in these migration games because there was just water domination from Brazil in both games, but still very well played. The Brazilians deserve credit for their water play here and taking home a 2-0 against Norway. Just go browse quickly through the stats here as well. $69k kills for Dogao. A nice number to end the KD on. 69 to 32. That also says something about Tiger's fighting spirit on the left hand side. He did get lots of pickoffs, but he was outnumbered in the end, and the Hunts player on the other side, just with the constant production from what I think was 5 docks in the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it was 4 docks, but he kept sending on board more and had 42 military in the end.